evening. Welcome. It's wonderful to be on Gino's spot.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. Got a drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino's shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.
Gino's spot.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Center Stage.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Gino Spot. Oh, say, my name is. Hey, you haven't thought of a name for me yet. Hey, you can find a name. Give me a name and I will use it. That's right. I'm a rock and roll guitar player. I am here just to hire from Gino Spot. They told me that they need people to do an introduction to the show, and we have Al Frost on tonight, and that means guitars. We are talking guitars tonight. That is going to be lekker. We've got, of course, our Spencers, Fits and Leads. Fits and Leads, also Spar. That's right, above my cowboy hat. Spar is here tonight as well. Lekker, dames and heren. We're looking forward to tonight because he's going to teach it all about guitar. That's why I brought with me tonight the guitar. I'm going to be teaching you a little bit about the guitar. Tell me where you are watching from. Tell me where you are watching from. Tell me where you are, what you are drinking. Because we have Fits and Leads here. Oh, say, and I have a little bit of Panthers gin. You see that little bit of Panthers. They've given me a little gin. It's nice of them, né? And it tastes like, that thing's green long thing that is nice to taste in a salad. Cucumber. Is 'n ekonomiese nommer, hy's 'n bietjie komkommer. Hy sê Panthers is very nice. It's got a bit of, it says here, the winner's choice. Indeed, you drink enough of it and you win anything. So, dames and heren, I thought tonight I'd give you Carol Jacobs. Carol Jacobs, she's always first on, always the first one online. Jy is die winner, first one online, always. Hey. And I see Mike Bauer is here too, lekker Mark. Hello Emil, hello Gino. Hey, goeie. Now I've got my guitar with, you can see. That's right. And I'm going to teach you how to play guitar. It is a very simple thing to play guitar. It's a simple thing. The first thing you have to do when you come into the stage with your guitar, make sure that your guitar is right with your belt, and jy het mos 'n platran. Ek hierdie platran, hier's 'n platran. Wat jy used to jy slaat die gitaar met die platran en jy gooi jou vingers op die ander kant hierso. Daar's hy. And when makes lekker sounds. Ek verkies 'n elektriese gitaar. Oh cowboy Fabry. Sê Wendy, ek hou van jou. Ja, sê read that cowboy. You are right, nee. I'm going to be just like you. Cowboy granny. Nee. So what you do is you move your fingers to this end and then jy maak sommer klap het met hierdie platran op die ander kant. Okay. Ek verkies die elektriese gitaar is jy got uit my krag. You have to plug it in electrical en maak jou it's much better. Jy kry 'n bakgitaar, en dan kry jy 'n gat snaar gitaar en 'n staalsnaar gitaar. And then you get elektriese gitaar. Nou kap jy met die elektriese gitaar. And I'm going to tell you how to start. When you start off with electric guitar, you walk on the stage and you check your microphone. Die microphone is daar op die ander kant. Hy's op die mic stand. You come on the stage, you check that microphone, you have to look like you're going to bliksem it. That's how you do it. Like this. I see. And you can make things with your mouth too when you're playing. Goeie begin. But you must look like you want to move this microphone. That is the whole point. And then when you change a chord, as jy 'n chord verander, okay, as 'n chords, as verskillende chords. As jy 'n chord verander, then it must look like you are a genie. Jy was genius. That is what you just discovered. Dis amazing. Jy's opgewonde. Dis new chord that you discover. Opgewonde mense, opgewonde. Weet wat jy was? Hallo Strootrenton, lekker om jy te sien ook. Yes, so, the guys is coming in. Danny Fisher, hallo meneer. Hallo, gaan met jou? Dis 'n Scotsman. Wat is 'n Scottish man? I know it better to understand of Afrikaans. Moenie worry, everything is going to be right. Danny Fisher, I will speak English deliciously for you, so that you can understand. En Marcel, hier kom 'n bietjie trouble. Here comes trouble. You are right, here comes trouble. So when next step with a guitar. If you are playing folk songs, saggies, as jy saggies speel, then you have to look from side to side to check in the stage sides, to see even if there's nobody in the stage sides, but you have to look from side to side if there's something going on, because that's how it just works like that. You must look a bit like something happened in backstage. And you don't know what is happening. That is how you have to watch out extension calls while you plug in. Anton, jy het my so geskok met daai extension call van jou. Ek soos jou gebliksem met daai dag, nê? When the Tomkins, it love it. Good, bad and the Fabry. Give that match a fit and leads. Nee, I've got one already. Okay, so the next stop in a lesson is as jy lead guitar speel. Okay, waar speel lead guitar? You have to make facial recognition met daai note wat jy and sometimes you can even you know as a hond if a dog eat a lot of grass, when you take your dog for a walk and when it eat the food, then it go out for a walk and when it eat a lot of grass, when it try to wipe its ass on the ground like this. Kan jy maar sien? That is all you need to know for how to play the guitar, dames en here. Let me tell you, there is a guitarist or ander mense. You know, when we're playing songs, like Kenny Rogers, he like to play guitar all night. Jy gooi that Gambler. You know the Gambler. The Gambler is such a long, strong song. It's such a long song. That it's 28, 90 verses long. But you can cut it down into one song. I'll show you. I will sing work in my American accent like this. In a warm summer's evening, I met a man who played cards well. He died at the table, and I won all his money. Hey, you see, it can be shortened like that. Like there's other long songs as well, like Eric Clapton. Late in the evening, she's wondering what clothes to wear. She's still wondering what clothes to wear. You're just going to go for a braai, and then she's always wondering what you're going to wear all the time. Can't you just make a decision? As you can't help, it's lekker. You know, tell a lady what she need to wear, because sometimes she just didn't know, and sometimes she's just looking for a bit of something from you. Save your relationship. You just listen to Eric Clapton. Yeah, you know, those type of songs. I play a lot of different songs. I can play a lot of songs. I play, for instance, what about this one? Tonight, I sellotape my love to you. Tonight, I sellotape my glove to you. Yeah, I know it songs. I know all the songs. Hello, Brian Wilkinson. Lekker om jou te sien. You like the best. Hey, goeie vir my. You are the best. I like the best. Cafe Mars, thanks for that. I got another song. This one. Also, it's speaky saggy. Got a black magic marker. Ja, sê, I know all that. Hallo Alfie J. Yes, so lekker Algoa FM. Hy's daar. Lekker night to see you there as well. Caroline Morgan. Yummy Page, ek kan weer. Ja, nee, it is a beautiful one for you. Hey, koppie. And I've got other songs. I play at weddings. I do weddings as well. My favorite wedding songs. What about what this one? What's love got to do with it? What's love? Second-hand emotion. Yeah, I can play that one at the wedding. I can play also at the wedding. Maybe I can do. And I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Yeah, I know. Oh, that's Candace. Jy's al ook. Nee, I say hello for Candace. And I've got a song for weddings. My best one for the wedding, of course. Heard it from a friend who heard it from a friend who heard it from another. You were messing around. Yes, I didn't go so like at the wedding that I did the last time. But also funerals, I can do anything. Funerals. What are funeral songs for you? What about the first one? Hey yo, ladies and gentlemen, welcome in Gino's spot. Have you enjoyed the lesson? Indeed. We have got Albert Frost here tonight, and we're going to do a little song. Put some comments in the comments. And then we're going to head into what you're watching after that. Oh, thank you, Candace. I like that. I like that look on you too. All right, let's have a look. What's going on? Let's get the song going. Little girl song going. Oh, we're going straight into the song. Where's the song? I can't hear it. All right. Not grafting. Oh dear. Okay, we're going to go straight into what you're watching with Darren Fuller. Darren Fuller is here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because what you're watching we always do on a Tuesday. That's right, to see what you're doing on Netflix. So let's have a look and see what Darren's got up his sleeve today. How's it going tonight?
Hi everyone, it's Darren here, reporting for Gino's spot from Croffernet with this glass of wine. So guys, I'm obviously not in Becha this week. I'm traveling. I've been to Cathcart, Queenstown, and now Croffernet. I'm teaching young minds to teach other young minds to donate blood, as is my job. Okay, so guys, what I watched this week was mainly I watched The One, which is a new series that just started, and we finished it in 2 days. So guys, The One, wow, what to say. So The One it's very Black Mirror-esque, and it's about in the near future you can find your one true love through DNA matching. So one strand of hair and you've got your match. So obviously in this future David Tennant is my match. Don't question me on that, it's a fact. Anyway, so obviously the course of true love never did run smooth, even when you're matching DNA. So lots of bad things happen, lots of confusing things happen. It's fantastic, guys. It's so good. It's you're gonna be like thrilling yourself, but it's very good, very, very good. And then, just by the way, look, it's a windmill, isn't it cute? Anyway, so then I watched I Care a Lot, which is a film with Rosamund Pike. She actually won the Oscar Global Award. She won an award for it. It's amazing. She's so awful. She's a terrible person. Wow. So she runs this company that when a patient can't take care of themselves, she takes over their finances, and then she presumably takes care of them. Not so much. She's terrible, but it's such a great movie. It has so many twists. The acting is amazing. There's Peter Dinklage in it, Tyrion himself. And yeah, despite how awful she is, you still kind of for a second like her, and I hate myself for that. But watch it, very good. Then also I watched The Crazies, which is a 2010 film, so not so recent, but it has Timothy Oliphant in it, and it's very, I really enjoyed it. It's a small town sheriff, and people start acting a little bit crazy. That's the title. And people just start going a little bit crazy and attacking each other. So it's kind of zombie-esque, but not. But very, very entertaining. And Timothy Oliphant I always enjoy. You might know him from Justified. Anyway, I must say that is all that I really watched, because something in that tree, the one took up 8 hours of the weekend. But if you just watch those two things, the one and I Care a Lot, you will be doing yourself a favor. But it's really loud. Anyway, guys, cheers. Have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye.
All right, Darren Fuller. All right, so stick your solos in the comments.
Aromas spreading round. I'm back in Texas town. Well, I jacked outside again. Oh, well, here is life. Almost every night. But now I might be mistaken. Well, here is fine. You got the time. And Cat Anderson, James is loving it. Here is side. Muesli for supper. Carol Jean for reading. Maggie Lombard. Thank goodness it's Tuesday. Some little black hearts from Nugget. Sovereign, welcome. Welcome to Gino's Spot, ladies and gentlemen. Let me get undone from all this stuff. All right. And tonight's going to be a great show. We've got a lovely show on indeed. We have Albert Frost. That's why I was playing a bit of guitar, because I thought, well, we'll do a little introduction that way. Albert Frost, amazing producer, it's guitarist, songwriter, all sorts of stuff, going way back into the 90s, and he's an amazing, incredibly talented chap, and so I can't wait. We're going to have a little bit of an introductory video from him. Let's have a bit of rock and roll. Let's see. It's also the Music Kitchen. Obviously, he's going to be at the Music Kitchen. That's why we're here. So that's fine. Let's hit it. Let's have a look at the introduction. Oh, we got to... right. Albert Frost, that's his new song. That's his new one. Just a little bit of a taster. Because we've started something new this week. We are going to be having a music kitchen drop-in every week on a Tuesday. And we're letting Ian coming on from the music kitchen, telling us what's going on, what's happening there. Because it's part of PE Fiber. It's part of the stuff that's happening. So let's have a look at the music kitchen slot on Gino's spot.
Hey Gino, Ian here from the Music Kitchen. Thank you so much for the invite to be on Gino's Spot, and really well done to your initiative of Gino's Spot during COVID. It's been fantastic watching your shows, and it's been very uplifting in what you've been doing. For all your viewers out there, we're here to tell you what's going to be happening at the Music Kitchen this week. On Wednesday, we've got the Four Winds Folk Club, which is the oldest music society in Port Elizabeth. We've got 4 local artists performing here. The doors open at 6 o'clock. 20 Rand gets you in. It's a fantastic night of local music, and the kitchen will be open, and we've got a fully stocked bar. So join us on Wednesday night for Four Winds Folk Club. And then this weekend is obviously one of my favorite weekends of the year. We've got 2 international standard musicians. Friday night we've got Gerald Clark, who currently resides in the Czech Republic. He's come home for a little tour. He's played on the stage many a time, dubbed as the man with the golden voice.
All I need is your love. About the rest, I don't care.
Used to be this youngster come around to the hidden cellar in Stellenbosch and say, "Oom, can I carry your gear?" That's all he wanted to do. This lighty was barefoot on a bicycle. All he wanted to do was carry the gear up and get in for nothing and listen to the blues.
There's no one I know in this country that feels the blues like that guy, man, and that can sing the blues like Gerald.
His songs are like the color of his feet usually, full of dust and mud. They are like rusty nails, the color of his hair actually. That's the way I see it.
There's any man who ever worked from the heart, it's Gerald. I've seen him address an audience, he does it from the heart. He melts them just like that.
It's never glossy. If it ever becomes glossy, I will just not be able to handle it.
For me, Clark, and this is the dead honest truth, is possibly one of the best vocalists I've ever heard, not just in South Africa, but worldwide. He really is. He is world class. He's got so much soul in his voice. He's just next level, man.
All along you've seen this go.
He's got a lot of strong points. I mean, obviously he's a great singer, but he's a great guitarist and he's a great songwriter as well.
One thing with Gerald is he's often got a very clear idea of what he's heard in his head. As an artist, that's quite a strong identity that he's got.
I rate Gerald as, like one of the best live acts in the country. I really do. It doesn't matter if you're in the back seat or if you've got the front seat. You feel like you're right on the stage, just the way he performs.
So you danced in flames last night. I would join you if I could.
Come to the next gig. You'll see who Gerald Clark is.
Fantastic singer, songwriter, bluesman, and an amazing vocal. It's a show you don't want to miss. Tickets are still available, and I'm sure you guys will pop the ticket link in there. Do yourself a favor, if you haven't seen Gerald Clark, be at the Music Kitchen on Friday night. It is well worth the money you're going to spend. Fantastic live South African performer, one of our favorites. Then Saturday night we've got your in-studio guest tonight, Albert Frost, performing here. He's the Hendrix of South Africa, former lead guitarist of the Blues Brews, now doing his solo thing. And he's launched a couple of new tracks which are absolutely amazing. He's one of the favorites here at the Music Kitchen. So join us on Saturday night for another Albert Frost night of genius on the guitar and vocals and songwriting. We can't wait to have the guys back at the Music Kitchen. It's been a fairly sparse 10 months, but it's lovely to be able to put on some shows again and get the ball rolling, as we'd say. There's one more thing I want to let your viewers out there know about. We have managed to secure our first big international band live at the Music Kitchen. And for those viewers out there who haven't heard of the band, do yourself a favor, go and Google a band called Neon Dreams from Canada. They're currently trending at #1 on various radio stations in South Africa. The tour has been launched, and Little LP, the Music Kitchen, has been fortunate enough to get 2 gigs on the 8th of May. The tickets for these shows will go live on Friday, so don't delay. They will sell out on Friday afternoon. And we are really, really looking forward to hosting our first big international band.
I don't need a lot, I don't need a ring. I just want love, a little bit of pain. I just need you, your company. I just need you, your ecstasy. I don't need a bar, I don't need a chain. I just want love, a little bit of change. I just need you, your company. I just need you, your ecstasy.
Thanks again for what you're doing for local entertainment in the Port Elizabeth region, and your support for the venues and the artists, and what you're doing is really fantastic. We'll check in again next week and tell your viewers what's happening at the Music Kitchen next weekend. We've got some exciting things happening. Easter weekend's going to be an absolute bumper at the Music Kitchen, and we can't wait for all of you to come back to the Music Kitchen, pop in, say hi, and come see the best of South African and international talent on our stage.
All right, and thank you, Ian. Fantastic. I love that. So we'll know exactly what's going on in town from now on out. Fantastic. Patricia Ann Watkins, hello, love the guitar. Doing a great job. Thank you very much, Patricia Ann and Marlene Clark. Lovely. Cheers to you. A little bit of this punters and the Fitch and Leeds. Albert, where are the fire icons when you need? There they are. There they are, Caroline. Delita Bush. Super talented. Yes, indeed. These guys are incredible. Mark Telford at a cap. I've got a bit of bedhead going on. Hello, Ian Mitchell, says Wendy. Hello to Ian. I'm sure he's on as well. The MK Spot awesomeness. Well done. Mike Barwood, our photographer chap. Ian, long since long time since you've been there. I went to the Frankie and the Misfits. It was fantastic the other night. It seems to be getting going. We're getting going again. We get over the second wave. Brendan Kelly will be there. Absolutely. Good. Get your tickets. Get them quickly. Jackie Hammett, so cool. Very nice indeed. You need the shirt, Francois. Frankie, and I've just spoken about Frankie and the Misfits. Thank you very much. I'll give you the shirt to you so that you can have a go at it. It's a bit risque. But ladies and gentlemen, no more buggering around. I've got my guest waiting backstage, and I'm bringing him on straight away, Mr. Albert Frost. Hello. Albert,
guys?
Lovely to have you, man. All the way from
Thanks
Somerset West.
Is waar.
Mooi, het jy iets om te drink?
I do. Cheers.
Excellent. Cheers to you. Clink, clink. There's it. Excellent.
Cheers.
So,
Yeah.
Albert,
Drink.
Albert, you're coming up. You're coming up to PE. Coming to Gqeberha.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't wait. I haven't been there in ages, so looking forward.
Yeah. Saturday. Is it Saturday night at the Music Kitchen then? And
Yes.
and obviously tickets available there. That's fantastic. And Ian's given you a good punt. You even had a bit of a feature in Gerald Clark's thing as well.
Yes.
I see.
Yeah, I don't know. Where they find that video? It's classic.
I don't know. I don't know. Where they got paparazzi following you around everywhere. That's the story. Albert, you know, we met for the first time in about 1997 or something, I think.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah,
was,
97.
Yeah.
98 with the Martel Blues Rock Festivals in Grahamstown.
Yes.
My folks ran, yeah.
Your folks,
Yeah.
Frank, your father, and Maggie were running it, and that's kind of where you'd already started with the blues with the blues then already.
Yeah. I've been into the draw for a while already. Yeah, but yeah, that was
Okay,
a very
so-
special time. Yeah.
It is. It was, and I know. I mean, just going, bolting straight through to what we just saw. We gave Gary gave a little bit of a taster of your song there. I see that's a nice rocker. Is a new album?
Absolutely. I'm in the studio at the moment, churning out an album, and it's going to be more of a rock album. I'm quite excited.
Okay, so you've been busy during COVID, yeah?
Yeah, I'm
like
lucky enough
recording.
that I've been able to release new stuff over this time. I mean, geez, as you know, it's not been easy.
Yeah, no gigs
to do anything. Yeah, it's been quite tough.
Fuck all gigs, but it's fine. We got we've at least got time to write, which is for a songwriter that's actually it can be I think can possibly be a good thing.
Yeah, it's weird, you know. Like people, I think people have this idea that especially over COVID, like, we had time to kind of like mess about, but it's such a weird time to be creative because everything is so awkward. So it's actually it had almost like an opposite effect on a lot of artists. It's like kind of like there's nothing cool to write about because like everything's like screwed up.
So everybody's in this whole big bucket of slush, trying to swim, and it's been it must have been a shock as well. I mean, I know for me it was a shock. Did you feel the same? I mean, did you expect this thing to go as long as it has?
No, not at all. I mean, we initially thought, it'll last 2 or 3 months, get back on the road and do our thing, and not so much, as they say in the classics. But I mean, it's also it's not all negative. I mean, we kind of like had to kind of think out of the box, and I did loads of streaming shows, which is an interesting exercise. Up to a point, eventually it became like psychologically like a nightmare. And it's just you kind of like you just had to like kind of get more versatile and activate different stuff, So it's also good.
Yeah. Sort of learn how to be an AV maniac, This last year has taught me so much as well about just streaming and that stuff that can go wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that shit happens, as they say in my classics. That's literally that's the way it goes. I mean, it's not what happens to you. It's how you deal with it. That's really the way to pull through with these things, I think.
Yeah, I see Wendy's asking about your finger, but before we get to that, I just want to ask you what we can expect on Saturday for the show.
Well, I'm doing my loop show, and I'll be playing my 2 new singles, and I've also kind of reworked the set a bit to kind of bring in some old stuff, and also just because I had this incident with my finger, I cut my tendon off my right thumb, which put me out for 4 months.
You said it wasn't a rock and roll story at all.
No. It's so boring. It's like 2:00 in the afternoon on a Wednesday. I was looking after my little baby girl, and it was like the 50th time I'd brushed past a palm that's in a big glass vase, and it looked like it was going to fall over, and I tried to just catch it to rectify it, and it just in a split second it cut the tendon right off, and it changed my life in a heartbeat.
Yeah, I'm sure. You say it's been a 9 months. You told me that the doctor told you that you must bend your thumb, and you said
he's like, bend it. I was like, I am bending the thumb. He's like, bend the thumb. I was like, I am bending the thumb. He's like, we might have a problem here. So I had to go for surgery, and then about 4 months of physio, and just quite harrowing. Just very harrowing.
Yeah. Were you able to play it?
Yeah, so I did use like a clip-on plectrum for when I started playing again, and now I'm almost back to 100%. Yeah, it's like it's 99.99999. I don't think about it anymore, and it's like, unless it's given me a new lease, because I mean for about a month and a half I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to use the thumb at all. Which of course for me is a bloody nightmare, because I have to play guitar, otherwise I become an arsehole. So we managed to pull through, dude. I'm very glad to be back up and be able to play again, and it's coming through with the shows. Definitely.
Yeah, that's great. I see Ian saying, Albert Frost, absolute legend. Can't wait to catch up again. Your new material is going large. It sounds great. I've got to say.
No, thanks a lot. And you're pushing hard.
And you're saying that you're doing the looping. I mean, you're incredible with this looping thing. It sounds fantastic. I've heard your looping before.
Yeah, it's like
it's a newer thing. It's a kind of a thing that's only developed over the last 5 years, 6 years. I mean.
Yeah. I mean, I've been in it quite a while now. It's about 10 years of using it as a device to kind of.
Yeah.
Just to it's what it does is it activates me being able to play electric guitar. So you can do the acoustic, and you kind of loop something on the acoustic guitar, and then I can put the acoustic down, you pick up the electric guitar and kind of blaze over that. And it's just very handy, and it's just in the day and age, it's just traveling on your own, doing your own thing. It's a lot easier than. I wouldn't have been able to come to the Music Kitchen the last 10 times because if I had to have a band with me, it would have happened twice.
No, because I mean, kind of like the cost just escalates as well.
Yeah, and unfortunately, it's kind of that's why I play the blues. I just go straight to kind of despair.
I'm a drummer. I understand that I'm a lass when O's take me with them. You know what I mean?
No, I'm actually a drummer going through a phase. That story is getting a bit old. But,
exactly, through a stage. And I'm just like, you know, I just because have you played with Jono Sweetman as well? I don't know who plays with you.
Yeah.
Jono.
We actually did a show on Saturday, and he's a genius musician as always. Just
I haven't met him as yet, but I've seen him so often, and I've interviewed a lot of guys that played with him as well. And Guy Collins, I know, played with him for a bit as well. Actually, do you know Guy as well?
Yeah, very well, very well. We also go back 25 years, long time.
Oh, really? Okay, because I love his play. I love his style of playing. That Mamba story with his open tunings and
like a swamp blues thing is great.
That's it. I just love it, hey? It's all about the feel in the end, isn't blues all about the feel? And you're a very percussive player as well. I like that about your playing. You know, it's like you feel as a drummer.
It's because I'm actually a drummer going through a phase. I mean,
a drummer.
My father was a drummer, so I started playing drums when I was about 10 or 11 years old, and you know that's the basis, if you'll excuse the phrase, for kind of being a musician. You have to have your rhythm sorted out before you can do anything else. You know, so I had a good start there, which was great.
You're so right. It helps so much in just a whole approach to the stuff as well. You know, there are a couple of musos in town that are really Yeah.
Yeah, so for me that's always been that. Like I mean, especially like, I'm a lead guitarist by nature because it's you're basically playing with rhythms. It's just you're fooling around the whole time. That's essentially what it's about. It's like one big fucking drum roll. You know?
It is. I see John Frick is online here from all the way from Holland. Hello, John Frick. Are you sitting in the coffee shop? Having coffee shop, a little bit of saying of some coffee. Renee Mitchell as well saying, loving your stuff. Albert Frost, cannot wait for Saturday. She's at the music kitchen there. Carol Jean, of course, always at the shows. She's looking forward to see your magic fingers. You magic fingers. And then Stuart Portkitter, Stu is a photographer. I'm sure he's going to get some good shots of you. So make sure you're nicely, trimmed and thinged by the time you get there. Jonathan Clark.
Not like
awesome.
Pulling him like a madman off the road.
No. See Candice Murray saying East London on the 19th. So you're going up to East London. You're doing a little tour. I see you at St. Francis as well.
5 dates. Yeah, Candice, will see you guys up there, man.
Oh, magic. Okay, so East London. Whereabouts in East London?
At the Fishing Farrier. That's on Friday.
Okay, cool.
I hope I've got that right. I think
okay. I don't know that place, but I don't know. It must be a new posse there. And that's because everything's been locked down. Okay, but it's obviously it's like a snook. It's just follow the smell of snook. You'll get to it. I'm not going down there. I'm not going that way. But so a little tour for you.
Fish and Farrier, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Okay, Fish and Farrier, excellent. It's a new venue. We'd like to see that venue as well. And then so just let's fling right the way back now. So you grew up in Somerset West, is that right?
Yeah, born and bred, in Somerset West, and then got out of town as quickly as possible just after school. And 25 years later, I found myself back in Somerset West and we're loving it. It's like it's a great place for family, and I'm hooking up with old friends. Everyone's close. So it's been pretty cool, man.
It's a relaxed joy. Hardo Bisping wants to have a cold beer in Germany. They say, "Are you in Germany, Hardo Bisping? That is good. It's all the way from Germany." Yes, Fish and Farrier.
We are there right now.
We are here. We are right there in Germany. We just haven't got a beer. We got a gin and tonic. Oh man,
a German tonic.
It's a German tonic. So we at school. Did you? I mean, musos are generally either ADD or I don't find many musos that have really whacked school. They really did well. They're either the other
Case
did
in
well in
point.
certain subjects, or they just like cruised through. You know. Well, how did you find school?
Geez, I school was tough for me. I can't lie. I mean, when I was in standard 6 or grade 8, we had cadets at school, which was horrible. We had to wake up really early and put on like army shit, and it was a nightmare.
Yeah,
You could get a that's way cooler than cadets. But the only way to get out of cadets is if you joined the school band, for instance, and that's how it started.
I did that. I did that as well. Did you play drums?
And skip that whole party in one go, and then I immediately started playing with Tim Rankin, the drums, and some of the other members are quite famous. David Poole is now in a band called Goldfish. We grew up together.
All right, yeah.
Goldfish, yes. And who also knows this? It's quite a Summers West is a cesspool for musos. A lot of good guys have come out here. A lot of bad guys as well, but. It's been, that's kind of how it started, and I just kind of like I fell in love with the blues because my father was asked to do a drumming session for the Blues Cruise in 1989, and I just turned 13, and I just kind of started playing a little bit of guitar here and there, and it just stuck, and I've always just loved listening. I grew up listening to The Doors, which is a blues band, and Led Zeppelin, which is also kind of a hard blues band. And
it is.
The Stones is a blues band. Like the list goes on.
Yes.
And then all the way through
the
to
British
like
invasion, I suppose.
Say again.
No, it's kind of like the British invasion in the 70s, like that whole they took over the blues. The British bands, Zeppelin.
Yeah, absolutely. That's kind of the scene we grew up in. Was that we also we're quite fortunate in South Africa. We get plowed by music from both sides of the Atlantic. So it's very interesting with that little aspect. The
Aussie bunch as well. We get.
Yeah, absolutely. We actually have a lot of in common with the Australians and Kiwis as well. It's like we like bit of both sides. Of the thing, and it's just been very rich. And I also obviously being in a band that was already full with people that are like immensely respected, and had done a lot of stuff. Like I learned a shitload in a very short time, and grew very quickly. And
the deep end, totally.
Yeah. And it was a hell of a steep learning curve, but it's just such an amazing. Privilege, that I could hang with people like my Johnny Frick showed me half the shit I know, like it's like
online.
There was no kind of YouTube and stuff. It was like, fuck, how do you do that? And it was like, you do it like this, and I was like, okay, cool, that makes sense. And so you kind of very fortunate instead of trying to suss out, and then a lot of the stuff is kind of by ear for me. Like I can't read music or write it in that sense.
Yeah.
But that's why I love blues, because it's a feeling thing. It's not about playing with your eyes. It's about playing with your ears, in a sense,
Don't you find blues also it's a kind of it's a bit of a restricted chord progression. So you have to learn to be creative within those chords and within that those 12 bars. You know what I mean?
Yeah, precisely. That's much harder than in many ways than playing jazz. We have like 50 notes to work with. Literally have 7 notes, and to keep it fresh is quite it's a huge challenge. It's also very satisfying. So it's about the flow of it all at the end of the day.
Yeah. I see there's a question here from Ian. I say, who's your favorite musician to share the stage with, and why?
I must say, Skulky Bear, the bass player. It's just because we've been playing music together since we were, when I was a matric, he actually came to stay with me. And we've already done 1,500 shows together. And it's it's one of those instances where, we don't have to think about anything. It just clicked.
Yeah.
It's a truly special kind of thing, and
if you play with somebody for that long,
we like mess around, we're like, there's nothing. Yeah. We always walk off a gig. I did 2 shows with him this weekend, and he's one of my best friends. It's a very fortunate position, and we after every gig we're like, fuck, what was that? Or like there was a space in that song we'd never ever been to, and we've done it's different every time, and it's like this really comfortable really comfortable space.
Yeah. It's a nice place to be in when you're playing with somebody that you've played for so long, and you just know it's not even a look, it's not even a thing. You just look over and it's a little eye thing or a whatever, and
boom,
it's like you just know it's there. Yeah, and also you count in. I know there's a couple of bass players that I played with over the years, and you just count in, and you know they're going to be there with you. You know, they'll never leave you. They'll never leave you hanging.
Yeah, and if they aren't there, they're going to catch up real quickly. You know, and it's I mean, and there's like. For me and Scott, we actually have a saying, which is the worst thing can happen is nothing can go wrong, which is literally like that's the case. It can't mess up. It's a beautiful thing. You know, we both improvisational kind of players, and it's lovely to have like such a nice, dynamic, wide, open conversation. Can go anywhere at any stage. It's a very special thing.
Absolutely. I see Lalani saying there, you need borshare to play the blues. Can you check my, can we borshare check, Lalani? Check her.
You have way more borshare than I do. I was on borshare, but that's a different topic.
Oh, you say borshare. So Carol Jean says the Strumpets have many fun memories listening to Albert's gigs around town. Absolutely.
Yes.
They're at just about every single gig in town.
Pretty much, yeah. They've always been there, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's great. No, so okay, so I mean, you know, you say school wasn't great. You know, you just sort of cruised through, did your thing. You weren't,
I mean,
all over the place.
Standard 9, I was. Yeah, I mean, I remember being in what's it, grade 11 or standard 9, and my dad came in and literally pulled me out of school because we had to go to Johannesburg to go record an album. You know, and that's
yes,
and then like by the end of that year, I was making more bucks than any of the teachers at the school. So I obviously got fucked up quite badly. And that's it. And just kind of just wanted to get through my trick and move on and get going. You know,
yes, and start playing. Playing. So that's amazing. So I mean, you really did have a really a musical grounding because your dad was in there. He was playing gigs. He was making a living out of it, basically. And you were pulled along in that direction. Obviously, you had the musical talent.
Yeah, it's more than that. It's the accessibility to that world. You know, that was right there the whole time. I mean, but my father had a band in school that's called Black Frost, which is kind of where the name, you know, the name obviously comes from. And they were like this kick-ass power blues rock trio. That was fucking mind blowing. You know what I mean? As you see, like my mom used to do the door, and I used to sleep underneath the table in like a makeshift cot. You know that kind of thing. So yeah, it's quite.
Isn't it freaky now that you got kids? You say you got kids as well. You got children.
Yeah, I've got three girls. Believe it or not.
3 girls. Okay. Because I've got 2 boys and well, and they also did the same. They were sleeping underneath the table. You know, so it's like full circle. You know, the whole thing.
Yeah. No, that's it. It's amazing. You know, it's like it's not a very common space to be in. I don't think. You know.
Yeah.
It's very unique, and also it's very tough to decide to do that. In the end of the day, I think that, like a lot of people I know that are professional musicians, the kids are like, no fucking ways am I doing this ever.
Yeah.
And
no
when that comes through, it's you know, it's because you know, you have to. It's for the love of it. It's not for anything else.
Yeah, no, absolutely, it is. Do you find that COVID, this COVID thing now with a downswing in gigs, at least it's helped the family a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's the first time I've been able to stay at home for longer than a week, which is amazing. You know,
it is.
Yeah, no. So it's very cool. I've got a little baby girl. She's just turned 2, and it's been amazing. I mean, also been very, very hard. In many ways, you know, like.
Yeah.
So that's great. It's great. It's been very, very cool family-wise.
For that, I mean, I've definitely found that is that the family's reconnected, you know, during this time because we've been, you know, there's nothing going on. You got to do it, you know, and so at least one good thing.
Or I have a couple of divorces and a couple of suicides in my side.
Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, geez.
You know, no, shit happens. You know, it's not. Unfortunately, that's life. It's a huge curveball, this whole thing.
It is, yeah. I mean, it's going to be still for the next, I don't know how many years. It's going to affect things. Still people are scared to go out. Even now, at this stage, even if the numbers are coming down, doesn't matter. People are still like, I don't know about the third wave. So so we're going to have.
Everyone's very, very. I mean, it's also it's a clever approach. I'm afraid, but it sucks for our industry on the other side.
Of course, it's terrible. Terrible.
No.
Now, I read somewhere that you toured with Simple Minds and REM and the Stones.
Yes.
Did you? Tell us about that.
Yeah, I mean, I did some awesome stuff when Arnu Carson's left the Springbok New Girls broke up in 2001, I think, and in 2002, me and Arnu, we've been old mates. I actually met him through my dad.
Okay.
At those Motel Blues Rock festivals was
yes, yeah.
We
there,
used to take acid together and get gerook and all that kind of shit. Get drunk and it was a big bonding thing then. We got together in 2002, and then about 2003 about 2004, should I say, we'd won SARM awards, and we traveled quite a bit, and then we wound up doing a lot of stuff together, and amongst others, we did a gig opening for the Rolling Stones in Spain in 2007, which is like I always tell people it was a bit like meeting Santa Claus. Never, kind of, it was like we got to call on the Wednesday, and on the Saturday we were in San Sebastian playing and meeting these guys, and it was just like it's a complete mindfuck. It's a better way.
Charlie Watts and Mick Jagger. What did you think of them? Were they right?
Yeah, they're amazing. It's like totally down to earth people. I mean. The most down to earth O's we dealt with by far was REM. They were just like,
really,
yeah, man, everything's cool because they've done it. It's like, and they just like they just want to play music. It's the same with where we had a very good. Me and Arun did a duo tour with opening for Simple Minds through Europe. We did a lot of shows.
I'm a Simple Minds fan. I flipping love them.
Yeah, no. I've always been, and after the tour, it's just like, God, it's such a fantastic act, and the whole thing, and also the same thing is like, they've done that, and it kind of like, you just kind of realize that that they just, and they're always, whenever you speak to them, they've always gone about they're just lucky to be doing what they're doing. There's no big ego bullshit. With people like that, it's just like, hey, let's get on this stuff, and this is amazing, and appreciate it, and take it in.
They must be really professional. Simple Minds just blew me away with it. It's got such a massive sound. It was that stadium sound that they had. Along that time. Learn so much seeing and working with people like that. You oftentimes learn about what you shouldn't be doing rather than what you should be doing. But I mean, it's just the world is right there. One forgets. When you do stuff like that, it's I've interviewed people like Chris Christopherson, and I've done shows with Tim Robbins, the actor, and also these they're just like hey man, I just want a glass of wine and a spliff and play guitar and have a good time, like that kind of thing. It's just like, they're just like normal people as well. That's actually just got lucky. Yeah.
Got very, very lucky.
Anybody that you played with that you haven't enjoyed or pissed you off?
But I'm not going to mention any names. The one person that I did with, well, I mean, I did when I moved to Tilburg after I was in Johannesburg for many years, and I kind of like that whole sex, drugs, and rock and roll thing kind of like hooked me, and then I decided to kind of like unplug and move to a farm outside Tilburg. Yes. And I lived there for almost 10 years and stopped drinking for a very long time, and kind of just got back into Albert Frost and not that other crazy guy that we all call Gary Fries. He's when he comes to play, shit goes sideways. He's left the building luckily. But the point being is just when I moved to Tilburg, there was a film crew from New York doing a documentary on Ginger Baker.
Oh wow! We share a birthday. Well, we shared a birthday.
Oh really? Oh wow!
Yes, 19th August.
Anyway, so by hook or by crook, the next thing I knew, me and Skulk, we were talking about earlier, my compadre, we were in Ginger Baker's house in Tilburg, and we were trying to jam with this guy, and he clearly didn't have his meds that day, you know.
Oh shit! Okay.
Because it was just this like, I don't know, because my father was a drummer, right? So we shared like a love of drumming, like on the top of the line was Ginger Baker, then it was Mitch Mitchell, and then it was you know, Bonham, and the list fucking goes down.
Mitch Mitchell with Jimi Hendrix, John Bonzo, Bonzo with Zeppelin, and Ian Pace with Deep Purple.
But always but that's one thing we could always agree on was that Ginger Baker's the fucking guy. He was the guy that inspired all those cats. You know, and I remember going to him and going, "Oh, Mr. Baker, it's a pleasure to meet you." And he looked at me like he was smelling a fart. He was like, he didn't greet me, didn't acknowledge me. Fuck all. It was the weirdest thing.
Really?
We wanted having this 2-minute jam, and he basically kicked us out of his house. And I was like, this guy's a Tues.
No. I've seen interviews with him as well. He's not a great guy. He wasn't a great
2 minutes was mind blowing. It's just like the octopus and the drum kit. It was just incredible. It was just,
yesterday.
You know, quite aware.
He also rated himself very, very highly as well. He did.
Yeah, absolutely. Which you know, that was the problem. Is actually like. He was allowed to do it, the asshole, but at the end of the day, like he might have just have had a very bad day. But I know that he's been he's quite a hard guy. So I really didn't. That was really shitty for me.
I think he's gone now, isn't he?
I think he passed away.
I think he died. Yeah, it was quite recently because he lived in South Africa for a while. He stayed in Durban and then obviously in Tilbach.
Yeah, he was into polo. He was a big polo fan.
Oh, okay.
So like he has, you know, like he was first did the KwaZulu-Natal thing, and then once he got kicked out of there, he came to Tilbach, and then once he got kicked out of there, he went somewhere else. God knows where.
He went back to England or somewhere. No, he was in the GTI polo. He was going quickly.
Yeah, it was the 1 liter polo eventually.
Yeah. Oh no. So Carol Jean says Albert's mom and I are the oldest rocking groupies around.
Hell yeah,
Maggie.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, no. I remember Maggie organizing that blues fest because we were there with Eminent Child, and I know you met Darren and Brad there as well. And Darren, I think you kept in touch with Darren.
Yeah. I see him every now and again. Yeah.
Darren Peens, of course, in St. Francis, and he's doing his thing with Ruchi now, the Digby and the Lullaby.
That's
it's always, you know, I don't know if you know, Darren. I'm a rock drummer. I'm like out there with the rock stuff. Darren has always been very like, you know. Hold it back, man. Just hold it back.
But very musical. Very musical guy.
Absolutely. No, I love him like a brother. He's actually on his way to PE tonight, I think. He's phoned me.
Okay, cool.
But But no, look, I mean, from that time, so you were with the Blues Brews. Then you were cutting your teeth there, basically gigging your brains out.
Yeah, gigging my arse off and trying to get laid as much as possible and everything else was,
at 17, oh my God.
No, it was an amazing time. That I mean, that bill was like the middle of the 90s. I mean, the Springbok New Girl, Sugar Drive, Wonderboom, Blue,
Sugar Drive, 10 Mile
Valiant, the Blues Brews, Sons of Trout. I mean, God, the list goes on. Plum.
Yeah. Yes. Plum was amazing. There was what was the Sea Level? What was Sea Level? Urban Creep.
Urban Creep was there. That's right.
Yeah.
And
Amersham. Amersham was there as well. But Sugar Drive were incredible at that time. They were doing so well, and of course that whole Afrikaans movement was going on as well. Squeal too. Squeal.
One of my favorites of that time. But
I mean, James Phillips and the guys were doing their thing at that time too. At the Grahamstown Festival, it was.
Yes, yeah. That's when we became friends in Grahamstown quite a bit, just before he passed away.
Yeah. Yes, I remember that, and because I can't remember the name of his band now. I'm just trying to think. Used to play Kick-Ass.
The Cherry Faced Lurchers.
Cherry Faced Lurchers. That was the one. It was amazing. Yeah. It was those guys did kick ass.
Yeah, no. It was an amazing band.
Now you've won a pile of awards as well. Sama Awards.
Yes,
for the
I released an album in 2016 called The Wake Up, and I spent blood, sweat, and tears in about 18 months in a very good studio crafting this album, and it won the best rock album in 2017 at the South African Music Awards, which is like, You know, I didn't expect it. Or it was. I mean, obviously, I was nominated and I kind of did a video because I was booked to play a festival in Mozambique, and it was like a movie. When I was, about my slot was I mainlined the festival in Mozambique at 11 o'clock, and just as I was about to go, ladies and gentlemen, Conrad Yamne came to me and said, "Listen, your mom just phoned. You've won the Sama." So it was like it was just one of those bizarre, incredible moments. Yeah,
to make your way through all that hip hop, bro.
Yeah, I know.
And R&B.
Yeah, so it's and I mean, it wasn't like I didn't expect it because you get to a stage where you don't expect anything because then whatever happens is okay, like I mean, this is such a hard industry. You get lifted up and thrown down all the time. So you're kind of like, you kind of have this thing, and then I didn't expect much to happen from it, but it still reverberates to now, and that's 5 years later. It's really is a very special thing.
People don't know that. People don't think about that when they're watching you play and they think Albert Frost. Oh, Albert just has a great gig every single night. It's just like no ways, man. It's such an easy thing for him. You just gotta get up. But you're so right that every gig is different, and one gig's like a downer, and the next gig's up. It's never.
No, it's and it's all. I mean, I've done like a lot of shows. I mean, we were about 4,000 gigs in. I mean, that's a hell of a lot of performances. So it's like it's this automatic kind of place. I mean, we were talking about if I have any hobbies, and I started playing golf about 6 years ago, and it's kind of there are lots of parallels with golfing and the music industry. It's like you have to I admire a golfer that gets into a space where he's focused and he can do his thing, even though everything around him is going like this. And it's very much similar with being a musician, and it's nice to be in that space where it's always there, like it's you try and you have to deliver every time. There's no halfway, and you have to be like 120% in, otherwise others don't get it.
The energy, you got to have that energy,
every single time.
Adrenaline every time. That high every time, and that's why, I mean, I understand when you're saying you're up in Joburg and you're doing gigs every single night, because it's cumulative. You play these gigs every night, and then you're playing the same thing, and it's just like you've got to give everything every night, so your body almost can't take it anymore.
Yeah, I didn't at the Opikopi in 1999. I did 9 sets in that festival, with different acts. I was whoring around a lot at that stage. And by like the end of the Saturday night, I was like, you just like empty. You can't give anymore. It's just the last week. You're like, you're kind of just slogging through the motions. But I mean, so you learn these things. I mean, how else are you supposed to know? And it's also nice little lessons. But I mean, I also, because I did so many shows for so long, like I got into a space where, I can deliver like 100% show every night. Because I know how to pace it, and I know how to take it on and approach it.
Yeah, you learn.
Which is it's a lot trickier than people would ever realize. It's very hard to get in that space.
Viv's come late. She says, I didn't hear Albert Frost music. Please play some, Gary. All right, we'll play some for you now. Then let's have a quick break, and we'll play one of the songs. This is Everlasting. This is one of your new ones.
Yeah, this is the brand new single.
And tell us a little bit about it before we play it quickly, so we can give a bit of background.
About that feeling of having someone on your shoulder at a festival, that festival feeling. So enjoy
the video. Did you do the video? Where was that?
Yeah, so obviously we couldn't find a festival to shoot the video, so it's just like very nice, scenic kind of vibe on the Cape Town coast, just to get the feeling.
Oh, lovely. Let's have a look. Let's have a look.
like a dream, honey. And I fall for something everlasting, to feel real love on my shoulder. I fall for something everlasting, to feel true love on my shoulder.
Ja, lekker. That's a
Yeah, no,
vibes.
very large.
Yeah. That's gonna be that'll be insane live with the band. I can imagine that must rock.
Oh yes, yeah, no, we did this weekend. It sounds amazing. It's just you know, it's I'm trying to push things in different directions. It's a nice little combination of like an African feel. With it.
I reckon because it sounds a lot more sort of accessible, and it's a wider audience that you're going for there. You know, with that sort of sound.
Yeah, it's kind of like just have to you know, I always say like everything's been done musically, but there's an infinite amount of combinations of stuff you can do, and that's, I think what we have to do is to kind of like mesh things together and you know, try and at least make things fresh again. It's not necessarily new, but it's you know, keep it fresh. That's kind of that's the vibe.
That little intro there was like a little bit Tom Fox guy vibe, but I love his playing, and
Yes,
I
me too,
love. I don't know where he is now. Has he moved overseas?
I haven't heard from Tom Fox in a long time. I mean, as far as I know, he's probably still in Cape Town. I don't know. We might have moved abroad. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, but he always had that lovely sort of African flavor, you know. That and I see that beginning. It just reminded me a little bit of it. It's lovely. I absolutely love it.
Cool.
Like a cathedral. Anton says a cathedral reverb on guitars. Lekker 80s, but not 80s. You're right.
Hell yeah! It's that right next to Batcave setting.
It's that one where you jump in like this and your amp goes waka-cha. There's a spring reverb. The spring reverb. So they go like this. They're little springs that go across the amplifier. And if that amplifier is going full taps, that spring starts to go like this. And then you're jumping and the spring starts to go. Eventually the spring hits. I don't know what the hell it is, but my God, it makes a noise.
like thunder.
Yes,
like thunder. And
everybody just stops. Oh no, that's insane. There was somebody saying dealing with the fans afterwards. Who's that? Candace. She says everyone wants a piece of you. You're right. Afterwards as well.
Yeah, no, that's also. I mean, it's part of the job. You know, like I mean, if you've been in it as long as I have, for instance, like. You know, like you see people come and go, and you kind of realize that there's a certain mentality you have to deal with all this shit, you know. So there's a lot of patience and kind of like, you know, especially when I didn't drink for 9 years, just over 9 years, and you know, like the same O comes and tells you the same story, and you know, you just have to actually sit through it. You're like, well, what the fuck are you gonna do? Because he's not gonna remember. Next time he's like. So you tell me the story. It doesn't you know, that thing. But I mean, also it's very rewarding because it's kind of like it's your people. Shit, you have to, you know, you have to take.
Because otherwise, you're gonna be sure that I was gonna go home and say that guy was such a douche. I went to talk to him and then I was stuck. He was a bit offish with me. You know what I mean?
I had someone the other day come to me and he was like, he's like, oh man, because I mean, if you kind of like if a lot of people know you they often like they feel like they know you, right? So they approach you and you kind of like have this automated kind of like, hey, how you doing? Like your family almost. And I mean, I've also got to the point where I'm like, you know, fuck dude, I can't. You have to like remind me where. And it's like I was so offended. He was like, "Don't you remember me?" I'm like, "Oh no, you have to kind of like." I said, "Yeah, but we were having Jägermeisters on top of the bar up in Kopi 1998." I was like, "You fucking joking?" I wasn't there, you know. I remember that quick. It was like, you're completely offended. It's like, I was like, "Oh, God, sorry."
No, you can't. I mean, and you've got to try because you understand where they're coming from as well. They're also like, they want to just say how's it,
Yeah, it's so. I mean, it's interesting and it can be hard, but it can also be very easy and rewarding at the same time. It's quite tricky. It's, you know, it does get exhausting though. I can't lie.
I know. James, see James Wayne Jones online as well. How's it, James? He's been over to Brazil. This guy's doing all sorts of stuff. He's mining and I got no. James, I don't know what you're doing, bro, but go for it because I'm with you, bro. he's a mining magnet. There we go. And I see Anton Carlitz online as well talking about the guitars. Anton is obviously a songwriter too. He's and amazing songwriter from PE. Yeah. Musical ambitions. Like, is there anything that you haven't done that you'd like to do? I mean, obviously there always is, but what are you aiming for?
Yeah, there's a lot. You know, like I kind of like I'm quite you know, what's the right word? I have a very wide range of styles that I like. It's kind of eclectic. That's the one. Yeah.
Is it?
Kind of thing. So like I'm now busy with a rock album, just getting harder and harder. And when I say harder and harder, it's more like it's starting to sound like Soundgarden, which I fucking love. And I've never been able to do something like that.
I love Soundgarden.
You know what I mean? So, and then you know, there's also like
Mailman. That's one.
No, they're a remarkable act. I mean, but then it's also like, you know, I'm thinking of doing something that's way more kind of like a floral acoustic kind of vibe with songs that I haven't been able to kind of churn out in that flavor just because, you know, it's always been rock and roll in a way. You know, and I mean, people every now and again get asked about an Afrikaans album and like, you know, maybe at some other stage. But it's at the moment I don't feel it. In 2 years it might be a different feeling, and then I might do something. I can't tell, man. Because I are half Afrikaans after all.
Ja, that's reg, was delicious.
It's one of those things. But I mean, as far as ambitions go, I mean, I kind of in 2018 I did this massive tour through Canada, just to try and kind of get into like another territory, you know, because it's like.
Okay.
You know, it's a very niche thing in South Africa, but it's massive in North America and Europe.
Blues and rock and that sort of stuff.
So we're starting to kind of push and get ahead, and then kind of, you know, it's what can we say? It's just a weird time. So there's still lots of stuff that's in the pipeline, and I mean, I'm hoping that next year is going to be one of those years where, you know, traveling really is open again, and the nice thing about also about the lockdown is that it's forced us to kind of connect with the people you know, all the people that you want to know, and kind of set things up and make connections and network the shit out of everything, just because it's the only way we can kind of socialize now. So it's all like, also there's a, like this year is a big setup year for next year, I think, for myself. I mean,
it's taken walls down. I think this COVID thing. It's taken walls between, you know, it's not like us and you, and it's like we're all in this together. We need this whole industry.
I absolutely, and I also had this huge sense when I was in Canada that there's no, you know, there's no prejudice really. It's like if you are good at what you do, doesn't matter where the hell you come from, you know, that's the respect there. It's really, it was quite amazing to see that.
Just saying, you saying Canada, and it made me think of something now. Is that you know, as an artist as well as an original artist, you can kind of forge your way anywhere. You know, you can, if you've got to build your market, you've got to build your gigging sort of area.
It's the same as
stuff where you're going. Yeah, same as but I mean, you could go anywhere. So you've almost got to choose. Do you choose back in South Africa because you're close to your family? Do you need that support system in the back, or do you just forge ahead and find and make a new home? Yeah, it's a difficult one.
I think I mean, there's so many takes on that. Like for me, like what I've realized now is that the world is really tiny. you know, that's it's shrunk. It's like, you know, like Johnny sitting in Holland and
yes,
and it's
Johnny,
it's real time. There's no, you know, that's the one thing. The other thing is that what I have realized is that you have to decide on a territory. You can't just go and club everything at the same time, like, because then if everything comes back at the same time, you're like locked out. You can't.
Yeah.
So you have to be kind of you have to target what you want to do. But I mean, you know, also like I do think that South Africa is very, very strong. It's getting stronger and stronger from an entertainment and a music perspective. And at the end of the day, it's you just have to climb on a plane and go somewhere. It's you know, like you kind of realize like, man, I've flown a hell of a lot. You know, you just after the first couple of international flights, you realize it's the same as flying from you're gonna pack. It's the same as packing from flying to Cape Town to packing Joburg. You don't have to like you know, it's that kind of sense. But I mean, it is obviously like you have to spend time in that territory to build it up.
Yeah.
That's
and
the
also,
bottom line.
What you want in your life, you've got to make time for your family. You've got to make so if your family can go with you, then it's fine. If they can't, it's like a problem. So you've got to find this like balance, you know.
That's the thing. It's quite tricky.
There was this program about Twisted Sister. I don't know if you've seen it on Netflix as well, and it just made me think. You know, they were a band that were playing clubs in New York, and they got hooked into playing the clubs because they were making so much money playing the clubs every night that they didn't want to leave that and go and do an album and hit the international scene. So the club almost kept them there. You know, you can go down this rabbit hole of you working at a you know 7 nights a week at a pub and grub somewhere
I call it mind comfort zone. You know, if you get stuck in mind comfort
mind comfort mind comfort zone.
you have to force yourself out of that zone. It's like otherwise you just stagnate and then you just drop off the side of the edge of the world.
Yeah, because eventually you're just going to kill yourself because you're playing every single night and it's going to kill you. But you're getting the money in and you're paying the rent and it's like, so you get stuck.
I remember living just after school. I moved to Stellenbosch and I mean I worked there. I've stayed there for about 3.5 years, and I realized that you know I've got to get out of here because every year like 20,000 new people pull in. You know, you just have to sit in your port essentially, and
it's like a cruise ship.
It's like a cruise ship. And people pull in and like, fuck, I'm getting too comfortable here, you know, because you could do that forever. And there's nothing wrong with it. But, you know, there's things to be done and things to see. And, you know, you have to, it depends what your priorities are. But it's interesting. And like, you just have to, you know, find your groove, I guess. I mean, if you're happy with just playing clubs, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with that. But
I mean, I suppose that's the thing of how to keep the performances fresh. I mean, you know, how do you do that? You're playing original stuff all the time, so you want to play your own stuff as well. You want to get it out there, I suppose. And so, I mean, how do you keep it fresh? How do you change it?
Well, I mean, it's a very tricky thing. And like for me, it's interesting because I've got a whole bunch of the different formats that I use. I can either do my own thing, or I do like a thing with Skulk, or I do a thing with just a drummer or a trio, or I have a kind of larger act. But you know, for me now, and it's the nice thing about having done so many shows, it's like I can read a room and then just immediately go and grab it and about my repertoire of 60 or 70 songs, I can kind of like I pick and choose which ones I want to play, and then you know you kind of work it around that. I always want to play the same 15 ones most of the time because those are the lacquer ones, but it's never quite the same in a way. You know, you always like try and put in something else, and I mean I also fell into that kind of groove where you get comfortable and you don't want to move out of the zone. But I mean, now with this whole COVID thing, it's definitely moved along. I mean, I'm looking forward to the music kitchen because another thing about performing as much as I do is that it makes an enormous difference if you know the space. You know, and I've probably done, I don't know, like 10 or 15 shows in that room.
You pull in and there's the guys, there's Andreas, there's Ian, it's Renee's there.
From Tony's Space days, you know, it's like so like that's how I almost get like kind of giddy because the music kitchen it's such a comfortable space for me, and it's a space that's been worked up to be like it's a music loving space, and it's very that's super precious and special, you know, and I treat it with great respect. Say again?
The niceness spot used to be like what's with the blues, Tin Roof Blues.
Tin Roof Blues, yes.
Similar vibe with James, yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, so it's nice. There are a couple of places around the country that's like that, you know. A lot of places, like I play in a place called the Alma Cafe in Cape Town in Rosebank often. And it only takes 40 people, but those 40 people feel like 1,000 because it's one of those like pin drop. You know, there's always a waiting list for people to go and see music there because it's so appreciated. And I mean, for me, like the music kitchen is like that. It's like, you know, you just check fucking music, respect it, you know, and take that. And for me as a performer, it's just gold. It's gold.
Yeah, it's amazing. It is amazing. You've also, I mean, it's a smallish venue. It's 100. You know, when times are right, this can go up to 200 or whatever. But I mean, you're probably talking like 100 people, and especially during COVID. Do you battle with a larger audience or a smaller? I mean, you played in front of 70,000 people at the inauguration, didn't you?
The
presidential.
Yeah, and I mean, the Stones was 50,000 people. You know, the Isle of Wight as well. It's 60,000 O's like smiling at you. It's crazy, but
Isle of Wight.
It's amazing. You know, it's weird. Every gig is different. You know, I mean, the toughest shows are the ones with the fewer audience members. That's the honest truth. Like, the gigs where I did lots of like house concerts and they're 10 O's, and that's fucking nerve-wracking because you know you can't just like go, hey everyone, and do your thing. It's like you're in the space. You committed. Like I can come over and clap you. You know.
You're right here, and they're here in front of you like this.
It's like you check everyone in the eye when you play a song. It's like that's really hard, man. That's very hard.
Well, I can make you feel better because at least you don't have to do comedy for them because I've done that.
Well, I try and draw it in with the shows a little bit, you know, I can't lie. The blues can be very serious, but it's not as
all that. And your favorite gigs that you've done, I mean, the ones that you've really enjoyed, which one would you say?
You know, like it's so hard because, like I said, there's thousands of shows, you know, and I always kind of like the reason why I've stayed in this thing is because I take good stuff out of every one of them. But I mean, for me, like I think Oppie was just, you know, that's the place where I felt the most like, you know, that this is made for me and I'm playing to my people. I don't know if that makes sense, you know. It's not Oppie. It wasn't like it's not a jazz festival or a pop festival or a rock festival or a metal. It's fucking everything in one.
Yeah.
And it's one of my most special shows at that small top bar. God, you know, it's really remarkable.
Hoffman.
Some of the one of my career highlights was playing with the Malian blues musician Ali Farkaturi. He came to Cape Town in 2005, and I wound up doing this 2-hour set with him and his son and his whole band. People like Pascal Piatti, who I've subsequently saw at other world music festivals we played together. And I mean, that was just like, I mean, it's African blues, right? So what was amazing about that show specifically is a friend of mine got me to come and do a song with him as a guest artist. And he can't speak English and I can't speak French, so we couldn't talk to each other.
And you play, isn't it amazing?
So I went up to the stage and I did the sound check, and it's weird because they just sit down and start tuning the instruments. It wasn't like they fucking pass a tuner around, you know. It's like Turex sitting and having a jam. So I kind of like fucking try to get my strap into like a space. I was like in tune, and I did the sound check, and then my friend said to Ollie, said, "So when can Albert come and play?" I said, "That's fine. The boy can play. He can stay. Let him do the whole gig." And then I found afterwards that people like Hugh Masekela, Miriam Makeba, Thabo Mbeki, they were all in that crowd, and I just it was just this 2 hours of going think right Kuda because he did that fantastic album thing. But that was just remarkable, and people still come to me and go, you know, fuck, I was at that gig, dude, and it's just, you know, we had these long conversations musically with each other. It transcends like everything. Everything is just everything else is just crap. That is,
you can't even speak the same language, but you can play music together. Isn't it amazing?
Yeah, but we were having like an honest talk, you know, because you can't bullshit in that space. Like you just get spat out. I mean,
yeah,
you know, so that's definitely one of my highlights, all time highlights. Yeah.
Just saying that with a musician, it's so straightforward. Like it's not like a corporate environment where you go and the guy says, okay, you get a guy and you say, okay, we're going to come and play keys with us tonight. You know, let's do an interview and let's see, you know, let's talk about where you studied and where you did this and where you did that. No.
Yeah.
Just pick up your instrument. Let's go. Okay, 3 seconds in, buddy, you're out. Okay, let's go, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
You know, it's
so that's what I loved about that. You know, it's you can't bullshit through that. It's got to be real and it's real. So that's always been my approach. You know, it's just, you know, there's a gift to being able to control the present. You know, and you have to.
Yeah.
You know, I met Nelson Mandela at those 4 concerts that he put up, and he also kind of learned that kind of like it's just there's nothing but that moment right there. And that's you know, I know it's getting soppy now and cliche, but it's fucking true. You know, there's a thing that happens there. So then those are the precious things. Shit, you know, you can't.
Yeah,
there's no money in the world that can buy that. You know.
Did you shake his hand?
Yeah, absolutely.
Excellent. How are you?
Yeah, that's exactly it. No, I just got smacked in the face. He was just completely present, and it blew my mind.
He's a big guy, eh?
Yeah.
They say it had big calloused hands from picking up those rocks and things. Big hands.
Yeah, no. And there's just nothing there, you know. It was just me and him in that moment, and that's remarkable.
Yeah, it is. It is. Listen, we're gonna have a look. Listen to one of your songs before we get into the last little bit. Let's see this "Devils and Gods." Tell us about it. It's a bit heavier.
Yes.
I heard a bit of that.
Yeah, so this is from an album I released in 2009. Okay. I got the idea after seeing an interview with Carlos Santana, and they asked him to describe the blues, and then that's a really cuck question. And to describe the blues, it's like, you know, it's not rock, but it's not, you know. And he was like, it's like feeling good and bad at the same time. And so that's the premise of that. It's like we live in this bipolar universe, you know. And I mean, you wouldn't know what's good if you didn't know what was bad. So it's a deeper song in that sense.
So you gotta find the bad before you find the good.
You gotta just try and be good, you know. Acknowledge the bad, but just it has to go forward. Yeah.
All right, I know, and with these things, with these videos that we put on, the video does play faster in the beginning, but then it slows down to the proper tempo. So don't have a heart attack. It's fine. We just go the first few bars are just a little bit faster for some reason on this format. So let's hit it. Let's have a look.
My sense of feeling, I'm sensing it strong. Should I be feeling something so strong? What would we've lost? We'll make the heavens, we'll make the seas. So come on, tell me, darling, tell me what you please. I see you higher, I see you rise, towards goals aspire, towards sunny skies. Who made the devils, who made the gods? If it wasn't for heaven, what would we've lost? We'll make the heavens, we'll make the seas. So come on, tell me clearly, tell me what you please.
Yo!
Yeah, no, that's good groove, eh?
Lovely, lovely, lovely. I love it. I love it. It's got a vibe. It's got a. Yeah, it's like Nicky's saying you look so different, yeah, because he's been shaved for that one. This is his rock and roll days.
It feels like a lifetime ago.
I'm sure. Man behind guitar, Albert is a legend. Get down to the Music Kitchen Saturday. Absolutely, Ian. If everybody are watching, we should be coming to support. Just as a couple of last questions. I mean, songwriting process that you use. I mean, I've spoken to to Robin all about it as well, and a couple of the guys, and they sort of have you got a set process, or is it one or the other, vocals first and sort of lyrics first?
No, there's no set thing. Like it can be like a lyric that sparks it. It can be a groove. It can be anything really. Like I like working with different writers. So I often co-write. Like me and Robin have co-written quite a lot of stuff, and it's also nice to kind of to keep it open, and it gives a wider perspective on what's going on. So I quite like that. I mean, I'm not the greatest lyricist, so I often ask people to help me with that. But when it gets to the music and the feeling of it, I always kind of start with, it's the emotion of the music needs to be correct, kind of before anything else really kind of happens. But there isn't really a structure. It can come from anywhere.
And I think it's probably the best way. I don't know. Anton's online there. So Anton's a great songwriter, and I wonder how he does it. But I know that we've. If it's a lyric or something like a phrase that sounds good or something, then you've probably got a bank of licks and things that you've done in the past as well.
Yeah.
Do you record the stuff and
you
keep it?
You could see something on TV and it sparks something, or that could be come from anywhere. It's quite cool.
Straight Dre, say hello. My long lost buddy from Somerset West.
Oh, word, dude.
So school buddies or what?
Classic.
Oh my word! Your favorite blues player?
My favorite blues player is Jimi Hendrix by far.
Hendrix.
If I get the question quite a bit, and I've thought about it a lot. And I mean, people, he's a rock guitarist, but actually, fuck it, as a blues player, sure, man, he was just out there completely. I mean, it's I could run down a list of players now, but
You think that left-handed thing helped him to be different?
I don't know. I think that it's what did help with his sound is that his guitar, because he played a right-handed guitar, it gave him a unique tone, definitely. But I just think he just there's guitar playing before Jimi Hendrix and the guitar playing after Jimi Hendrix. It's like that, But I mean, there's a list of guys. Like if I go back and I could spit out one in every decade. That's phenomenal. Like of late, I really like Gary Clark Jr.'s style. He has this incredible slow vibrato, which just gets me every time. You know, like there's obviously, you know, people like Steve Ray Vaughan and you know. And
I see you use the Ebo a bit on your stuff as well.
Oh yes, you know, it's a huge influence. You know, I'm Clapton was one of my favorite players for a long time. He still is. I mean, he just, especially like the early kind of stuff. You know, that Gino album was very formative for me as a kid. The one with the John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. He did that album.
Yes,
it's referred to as the Gino album because he's on the cover. He's busy reading a Gino.
Right, a Bino comic.
Yeah, it's called the Bino album. It's a spectacular piece of blues history right there. You know?
I had a freaking Bino album. I had Bino albums. Why don't I play like him?
You know, and then it's obviously like people like I mean, there's a list, but the three kings had a huge influence on me: Freddie King, B.B. King, and Albert King. You know, those guys were really kind of like. No, really.
All those guys kind of solidified that whole thing, and someone like Stevie Ray Vaughan would have taken all that stuff and put it all together, you know.
But also like he had it's so different, you know. Like he had a very clinical style of playing. You know, whereas I quite like when it gets a bit messy. I mean, Jack White.
Yeah.
Fuck, what a great blues guitarist. You know, for instance. You know, and I mean, there are a lot of people I'm missing out in, and people would be wondering why I'm not mentioning people like who's the biggest blues guitarist in the world? What's his name? That's probably bad.
B.B. King or Gary Moore or C6 Steve. That's my favorite.
I saw him in England. It was mind blowing. Fucking one string, one arsehole, off you go.
Yeah.
It's quite
I love it. I love his voice as well. He's just got this angry, like old, it's like, I'm gonna murder you. About him.
I mean, you know, like South Africa has some great blues players. I mean,
John Mayer. You were thinking of John Mayer.
No, it wasn't John Mayer. I'm gonna try and get past this one. Okay. But you know, people like Gerald. I know Gerald's playing the night before me at the Music Kitchen, and I mean he is an incredible vocalist, but his guitar playing is like, I mean, I've known him since we were kids. You know, since I was 18. You know, he used to roadie with us for the Blues Brews, and his guitar playing is it's become so tasty in his tone, and everything is fucking spot on. You know. And then Joe Bonamassa, was the guy.
Yes, they're the one you're thinking of.
I just
Bonamassa. You know that progressed, that prog rock. I don't know.
It's just phenomenal. But it's incredible. It's incredible. It's like one of the guitar players, like you know that I could never stand was you know Mark Knopfler, and then people are like, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" And it's just a taste thing, you know. It's like
it is
weird. If you like every bloody own on the street corner.
Well,
it's just
with Santana, at Santana, you were talking about him. I don't understand that.
So for me, like I love Santana again, you know, because I mean, I grew up with Abraxas and all, and you know, when I was a kid, you know, so also like a formative thing there for me.
Well, maybe I haven't listened to it.
Thing, it's like everyone has a thing, like you know, another guitar player, like you know, I've immense respect for like Knopfler and as like Gary Moore, which I never. It's not my vibe, but I mean, it's fucking mind blowing. You know,
it is amazing.
It's like you can't deny that. It's just exactly. It's like the list goes on. It's just incredible. It's just. But you know, it's kind of you have to choose at some of the stage.
Yeah,
which,
you have to go.
You
have to choose your guitar. So you chose that little blues Clapton kind of thing, and then you've used all those little things that you enjoyed with the drums.
Yeah, kind of like you know, it's
John
nice
Bonham, Stuart Copeland, and Stuart Copeland and John Bonham. Just give me those two. I'm fine with those.
No, that's incredible. I mean, like the you know the list goes on. I mean, I'm like a big Jamie Oldaker fan. Fuck, I think he's one of the best drummers. You know, he's just that kind of thing. But I mean, so I mean, it's and that's the thing I love about music. It's quite an opinionated kind of thing, and it's weird how like people feel so strongly about how they feel about people or how they don't feel
Yeah.
about people. And at the end of the day, like, no one is wrong,
No,
There-
no
there's
one's wrong. Yeah.
There's no right or wrong, and it's not a fucking competition.
No,
You know,
you got to
it's
pick.
like,
pick what you like.
there isn't like the fastest guitar player in the world. I mean, Jesus, that's doesn't make any
come on,
sense.
honestly.
It's such a lucky thing about music is that it's so open and you can actually just say what you
It
think
is.
and it's completely normal.
It
It's-
is. It is.
It should be kind of you have to do it because that's how you evolve.
Yeah. No, you have to find it. All right. So last few questions for you, Albert. Thank you for staying so long with us as well. It's been fantastic. I think it was almost 2
thanks,
hours we've been going on. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's another gig. My God.
It's a bit longer than the gig at the music kitchen.
For someone who's never seen you before, Albert, what will they experience at your gig on Saturday?
Okay, so it's basically it's a flow of my material that it's shared across my days with the Blues Brews, people that have inspired me and stuff that I've been doing over the years. It's an acoustic and electric show. It's dynamic. It goes big and it goes small and it goes in every kind of emotional direction. And there's a lot of improvisation going down, which is the magical part. It's never quite the same, So
interaction is good.
Yeah, and it's a journey. I like taking people on a journey. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Well, I'm sure they're all looking forward to it. Just a few more questions. Proudest moment?
Proudest moment? Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I'd probably say, it's gonna sound cheeseball, but getting my daughter Bella on stage with me to sing a song. We had a
that's
moment
nice.
years back. It's just I was very
That's
very,
the
very
best.
proud. And also, one or two events with the Blues Brews. We're playing with my dad.
Yeah.
Back in this, I mean, that kind of like there was this like,
Frank, absolutely.
It's cool.
I just remember this big imposing dude with a beard at the Blues Fest. Yeah, amazing. I really, he had quite an impact on me when I met him. And then your worst gig and your most embarrassing moment. I don't know which ones you want to do.
The worst gig is probably my most embarrassing moment as well.
Oh, okay.
Did a show in Kalkan Car, which is the National Kunstefeest. I was playing on the MK stage, and I'd booked a trio, and we were playing like full tilt, but they had this huge screen behind us with playing MK live, and the entire fucking audience was singing the song on the screen while we were trying to plant a gig. That's probably my worst gig to date.
You're playing one song and they're singing another one. You mean?
Yeah, no, that's my worst gig. And then my most embarrassing moment was when Tim Robbins, the fucking Academy Award winning actor, asked me to come and play some songs with him in Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And we walked on, he called me on, and he was like, "Okay, dude, take it away." And I completely duffed the solo on this, like a 10-year-old. I felt like a 4-year-old on that stage.
I'm sure it wasn't as bad as you thought.
He just had this big laugh at me, and I was like, "Oh fuck, sorry, guy." And then obviously after that it was fine, but like a real like,
oh no!
The whole thing just crumbled.
I know it happens to everybody, I suppose.
That's hilarious.
Oh man! But Albert, I see your mom saying there you and Bella on stage was exceptional. Of course, the granny's going to say that. Oma's going to say that, of course.
Yeah. My mom also said she also likes to say that I'm her favorite son. I'm of course her only son as well.
Yes.
So.
Oh, there we go. Mothers are always like that. They're always going to be, and then when you're not there, then that's when they're talking about you. Oh, and Albert, he's just done a new album, and he's just done so well. You won't believe, and he's done very, very well for himself,
Yes,
classic. Yes, of course. Oh, Albert, thank you so much for coming aboard. It's been fantastic, and I hope your show.
Yes.
Best of luck for your shows. I know you're going to St. Francis as well, to the brewery. Linky and Lance are there too. Have a good one there too. No, there's James Wade Jones.
And then and then I'm actually playing I'm doing one gig on in Plettenberg Bay on the way down at Mel's place, which is Mel Boertes.
Mel Boertes.
Yeah, it's also an old.
Yes, that's the barnyard, eh? Is that the barnyard there?
No,
Barnyard.
It's a new place called Mel's Place, and it's not the barnyard. It's a very nice, very nice draw just outside Plettenberg Bay.
Oh, nice. Okay, Mel, fantastic guitar player. I love him.
Yeah.
He's like, he's that uncle who'll talk to you forever after the gig as well.
Yes.
Get another.
No, but Gino, thanks very much, man. I really appreciate it.
Yes.
I hope to see everyone on Saturday. Please come and support.
Absolutely, and we'll be in touch. I'm going to send you a case of Fitch and Leeds as well, just for Jules to keep you hydrated too.
Brilliant. Yeah, send it on. Thank you.
Thank you, Albert, for coming on. What a legend. Ciao, ciao.
Cheers, man.
Ciao. Bye. All right, it's competition times, guys. We're going to do our final competition. For you guys that are online, I need the name of the song and the name of the artist. I'm going to play the drums. Move a drum cam. Drum cam. All right. You know the story. The name of the song of the artist in the comments. The first one to get it wins a case of Fitch and Leeds, no matter where you are in the world. Get it? All right. Have we got any winners? Nobody's won it. Oh, come on, guys. That was Van Halen. Does nobody know Van Halen? I can't believe it. Well, we'll have to wait for the prize next week then. Thank you for joining us. And we'll see you on Saturday night. All right. Spend the night with me. Thank you to Albert. Thank you to everyone for joining us. And don't forget to go and see him on Saturday. It's going to be rock and roll.
Relax, sit down. Coming out of PE town. One drink, find a shot. Never mind your liver, get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Have a Gino shot.
Gino shot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Get to Gino's spot.
Gino spot.
Have a laugh, have a giggle, and exercise your middle. Get to Gino's spot.